Okay, let's see if that's better. Can you hear me now? And I don't think I have my microphone volume turned up, so we'll just go back over that little bit again since it was no volume. And I'll wait till somebody tells me they can hear me this time. But as I was saying, let's see. There's a little delay, so I'm waiting to see if they can hear me. All right, let me know if you can hear me now since I turned the microphone volume up. Because it was completely off, by the way. Yes, Joyce says she can hear me. All right, let's see if you can hear Amy.
All right, this is Amy. Can you hear me?
Okay, Amanda says yes, they can hear us now. What about Amy? I want to make sure because I want to turn the mic around for her if I need to. They say me. Can you hear Amy? Somebody say yes to Amy so I'll know.
All right, this is Amy. Can you hear me? Just say yes, Amy.
Well, I keep getting yeses, but not Amy.
Oh gosh, nobody's saying Amy. Okay, they heard nothing. Okay.
I hear yes. Okay, yes, we can hear you and
Yay,
Amy.
Amy, I love it.
Good deal. Let me go back and tell you this. I'm going to tell you what we're doing just really, really quick. I'll fix Amy's mic when she starts to talk. I'll turn my mic to her and that'll help. But for now, we are talking about Made It Con, and we're talking about Amy's classes at Made It Con. And if you're not familiar with Made It Con, it's the event we do twice a year, and this is our fall event in Pigeon Forge. It's September 13th, 14th, and 15th, and there are a few classes left. So if Amy shows something you like, you need to jump on it because it will go away quick. And whenever we show these in person, that typically happens, so you want to go grab your classes. So what Amy's going to do is she's going to show you guys all that she's going to be teaching, talk about her classes and everything you need to know. So without further ado, everyone, here's Amy Brody. Almost did it wrong. Amy Brody.
I answered to both. Well, hi everybody. I'm Amy Brody, and I am a certified Zentangle teacher, and it brings me great joy to share the Zentangle method of drawing really fun and fascinating designs with anybody who can make an intentional mark. The designs look really complicated, but they're not hard to do, and I can show you how. I'm there to support you every step of the way. If you take my Zentangle Basics class, it's a guided drawing experience. So we basically draw side by side, and we just draw it together, one step at a time. The whole motto of Zentangle is that anything is possible one stroke at a time. So we'll be creating some really detailed drawings, and then we'll be using some we draw patterns using ink, but don't let that scare you. And then we add some dimension and depth by using graphite pencil to shade with. So I'm going to get right into my first class. I'm teaching Thursday, September 13th, first thing in the morning, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is my 2-hour Zentangle Basics class. And this class will be just the quintessential beginner Zentangle class. And you'll be producing 2 tiles, and these are samples. Don't know how these show up, but these are representative of what I would be teaching. I might teach different patterns. I switch it up at every class. But this shows, basically what you'll be taking from the class is 2 completed tiles, and hopefully we'll have time to shade both. I'll show you how to shade all the tangles. Sometimes the second tangle we run out of time because we have so much fun with the process. You lose time when you tangle. you get lost in it, and before you know it, time is up. But I am paring down what I talk about in that class, so that it's going to be more hands-on. And but I don't want people to miss out on what I usually talk about, which is how the Zentangle method got established, and lots of details and little insights about it. So in order to make up for the fact that we're going to be really focused on hands-on in my basics class, that's why I'm going to do the mindful marks demonstration later on that day.
Very good.
That's my second class. And that is not as much of a hands-on class. I will teach a tangle or two, so you will learn and do something, but mostly it's going to be me sharing the insights and the information, who came up with this, why, and what's new in the world of Zentangle. There's constantly things being done by Zentangle artists around the world that everyone gets very excited about. And there's a whole Zentangle community that is online through Facebook, mostly Facebook. That's how I stay engaged, but I'm sure there's other platforms. But we just really, and on YouTube, there are also lots of YouTube channels about Zentangle. So during my Mindful Marks demo, which is Thursday as well, from 3 to 4:45, I will be giving tons and tons of information and answering questions and just giving you the inside scoop from somebody who has been doing this for a long time. So anyway, I was certified in the fourth class of Zentangle teachers that were certified, and I think they're now up to 31, the 31st class. So they've been doing this now. My training was in 2010, and I've had a lot of fun over the years, and I have seen so much develop, and I have met so many people and made so many friends through this art form. So, all right, I need to take a look. Can people hear me okay?
They can now. I've got you turned up as loud as we can go.
Uh-huh.
Somebody said Amy MC Escher. That's hilarious.
I just saw that. Yeah. You know what? I in college I always had MC Escher posters up in my room. I
He's my
loved his.
favorite artist of
I'm
all
deeply
time.
flattered.
He is my favorite artist of all time. So I think that's really cool. And that's why I'm always drawn to your Zentangle projects. But in person, they're so detailed and it's kind of hard to tell in pictures. So that's why we wanted to do this so everybody could kind of see you hold them up in the camera and see what they look like. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, also, I don't know if the lighting is the
Hold it
best, but I'm
hold it
hoping you
really
can
there we
see
go.
me.
Right there. Really
All
still
right.
right there. Look how gorgeous that is. Ugh.
All right. And here's another. And
Yep.
these are just some samples that I took from a basics class that I had taught. Actually, this one I did at Vale on spring break. I was teaching a friend of my daughter. She brought a friend of hers skiing with us, and her friend saw what I was doing in my calendar. She said, "What's that?" So I showed it to her, and so I did a little lesson there. And she's still tangling. Whenever I go to visit my daughter in college, she shows me what she's done in her sketchbook.
And the
Um,
thing that was so interesting to me when I met you, because I met you at one of these events, the thing that was so interesting is that I just thought it was doodling, but it's not. It's a method.
there it is, a very teachable method. Doodling is kind of a personal thing that people who doodle tend to come by it very naturally, and they just kind of let their pen go, but they don't necessarily think about the process. Zentangle is very process oriented. It's very mindful. Doodling, I think, has kind of people's understanding of it has transformed. It gets a lot more respect now than it did, but I think a lot of that is in part due to Zentangle. Because before Zentangle, people would doodle and they just throw the stuff away.
Well,
It would just be something
also,
to
I
rely
think
on. Oh,
I think it's important that people understand there's a method behind it because a lot of people would say, I can't do that because I can't doodle. Well, you can do this because it's not doodling.
that's exactly right, Maymay. It is a teachable method. I walk you through it step by step, and it is something. Even if you only learn, a couple of tangles, you can use those and do endless things with them. But you can do it with confidence because you understand the relationships between the lines. And so that's what I'm there for. I'm there to teach anyone. So I have taught this to professional artists and professional art educators. I've taught a lot of professional art educators, but I've taught this to children. I have taught this to people who were told when they were children that they couldn't draw. And it's very empowering to realize, yes, you can. You can do this. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's. The whole point is that it's not going to look like anybody else's, but yet you can relate to this world of Zentangle and these patterns that have names, and you can talk about them. There's a name, but your own style will come through, and even if you don't think you have one, you can find it through Zentangle. So I really love teaching this method. I love that I can teach it to all age groups and to all skill levels. And it's just, and it's very relaxing. Some people might get worried about it. I don't want anyone to be worried about it. You will come out of my classes feeling just relaxed and happy, and you will have created something that you didn't even realize that you could create.
Margie Miller, who's one of my administrators, says she took your class last year and you make it very clear and easy.
Oh, thank you, Margie. I am so happy to hear that. It's good to hear from you. Um, let's see here. Yes, you will be doing it. Okay. Somebody says, will we be doing it on tiles as well? A Zentangle tile is one of these. It is a paper tile. It's a fine Italian printmaking paper that has been cut down into a square. So we don't do these on ceramic tiles. They are paper tiles. So that was a question. And we will use the official Zentangle tiles for my classes. Except for the Zen Gems class, which I'll talk about because I find that the paper doesn't work well for that. But we'll talk about that later. Let me see if there's any other comments. Let's see
Does
here.
Amy have a YouTube channel?
I do not have a YouTube channel yet, but I don't know. Maymay might inspire me.
I said all along she needs what I've always said it, but you do have a Facebook page, correct?
I do have a just my personal Facebook page. I am looking to start. I have a meetup group in my area, but I'm not. I'm looking to expand that. So I want to have a Zentangle enthusiasts Facebook page. So if there's interest in that, let me know, and that will help to light the fire to help me establish that. Because
Yeah.
if there's interest, then I want to pursue it because Facebook is so much more accessible. My meetup group it hasn't been able to reach as many people as I'd like to. So it's really small, little group. But I think we can do more.
Well, social
So
media has a bigger spread, so.
yeah.
All
Well,
right,
I've
so
been kind of
that.
shy and quiet. I've been kind of holding back a little bit, but I'm going to be an empty nester this fall.
Oh no! So you have all the time in the world.
Yes, yes. Except I think I filled it up with classes. I've got a really busy schedule of classes. I'm so excited. I get to kick off my fall with Made It Con, which I'm so excited.
We're excited
So
about that too.
I see somebody saying if they're asking if there's any Sunday classes, and I don't know. I don't think we go till
We
Sunday. So I
don't.
know I'm not teaching Sunday.
Amanda answered that. There aren't any classes on Sunday there, but so you just showed your mindful marks. You talked about the Zentangle basics class,
Mhm.
and I guess the Zen gems. Did you show that?
Oh, Zen Gems. Well, let me talk about that later because that one comes later on. Let me talk about my Thursday
Go
classes.
for
So
it. Go
thanks
for
for
it.
getting me back on track. So
You're right.
Thursday, I'm teaching the basics. I'm doing mindful marks, which goes hand in hand with the basics. If you can sign up for both, great. If you can only sign up for one, well, do that. But both is good. But then at Thursday evening, I'll be teaching Zen bells. And the Zen bells, I'm trying to get it so the light can actually
If
show
you
the
hold it
pattern.
really still, it'll kind of focus on it, kind of bring it close, and then hold it really still.
Okay. Zen bells are a little ornamental bell. So you enjoy the Zen bell for the process of making it and for the ornamentation it can bring, not so much for the sound. It's not a gorgeous sound, but these make great little Christmas ornaments.
It's adorable. I love
I'm
it.
going to make a little miniature one. This is made out of a 2-inch tile. It's called a bijou tile, which also is an official Zentangle tile. And on the inside, you can see that it's an official Zentangle tile. I don't know if that shows up. But these have a little loop for hanging, and they're 3-sided. They can also stand up really nicely because it's a three-footed little item. It stands up very nicely, and we're going to get materials to make a small one and also a larger one. And the samples that I have on the website, these are actually those samples, and they're just in black and white. But the neat thing about the Zen bells is that you can embellish them and you can add color. So, I like putting a bead at the top, and I like having different things for my loops. This one has a wire loop. So this is a Zen bell that I've added color using just watercolor pencils.
That's
And
beautiful.
so I didn't use it as my class sample because I don't know that in those 2 hours we'll have time to do this. But I will bring my watercolor pencils in case anybody wants to try it or just try it on a sample if that's something they want to do later. Or somebody might work really quickly. I'm a slow worker. But if somebody works really quickly, they might be able to make both samples. They might have time to add color. I think it just depends on your pace. I think everyone has to honor their work process. I know when I go to a workshop, I'm very slow and I'm very deliberate. And so everyone should have time to finish at least one, whether it's the large one or the small one. But we will practice the triangular compositions, so everything is kind of done in a triangle because of the format. We have some practice, so you can test out your designs, see which designs you like the best or feel most comfortable or most relaxing for you to draw. And then you will do it on your tiles and we'll assemble our bells and add some bling if we want.
Cool. I
So
love those.
that is my Zen Bell class, and that is 6 to 8 Thursday evening. So right before the Glamma Jamma party is when we'll do these. So my next class is not a Zentangle class. I have taught it previously as a Zentangle class, and it took so long. And I loved the class, and my students loved the class. It just took a long time. So I wanted to teach this. It's an ornament class.
It's the whole reason. It is this class. When Amy and I did this together back, I want to say 2014. It was a while, 2015. Either way,
2015, yeah.
2015. I walked by the table that had the samples, what all the teachers were teaching, and my eye went straight to this ornament, obviously, because it's Christmas. And I went, oh my goodness, how did you do this? And she was like, it's so easy. You need to take my class, but I couldn't take it. But then the next year, my son took your class.
You did great.
Yep, so that he could see it.
Yep.
But you have to show this. It's so beautiful.
All right, so here's just one sample. Now, these are no longer tangled. I decided to not tangle these, so we are going to be making this ornament that I am now calling a GPS knot. And I at first was going to call it a jeepy knot just because it sounded cute, and I made it from gel printing. We are going to use a jelly plate. So GP, jelly plate, jeepy knot. But then as I was making my samples, I kind of lost my way. I got really frustrated and confused. I just wasn't sure it was going to work out. But I kept at it, and I got out my stamps and stencils, and I'm using them in conjunction with the jelly plate. And so eventually I found my way, and I realized I need to add an S or two to that for stamps and stencils. So GPS. That's why I'm calling them GPS knots. I know it might sound kind of hokey, but literally I found my way, a better way to teach these. The thing I like about teaching these with the gel plate printing process is that you use acrylic paint. And acrylic paint is going to make your paper even stronger because you have to score it and roll it to assemble this. So I really love the version of these that is created. Now the tangled ones are beautiful too, but these are really cool, and we can use metallic paints so that there's some gleam to it. And the thing with the gel printing is that we're going to be printing these strips of paper, and I thought I had some with me, but they're not by my computer. So we're going to be printing on strips of paper, and you're going to print it, you're going to print over it, you're going to print over it again and over it again, and you might decide, oh my gosh, this is a hot mess, I hate this, but you're going to keep on printing, and then eventually you're like, oh, it's stop time, I did it, I love it, and you'll set that aside and you'll do your next one. So it's gel printing is such a really fun and interesting and spontaneous way of creating and adding color and texture and image. It's not real texture, it's more like implied texture. But I just love the gel printed knots here. And so, and we'll be working on different colored cardstock as well.
And
so
I have to tell
all of the different.
I have to tell my viewers this. If you take this class, you're going to think the same thing I think. Then you're going to come home, and every bit of all of your scrapbook paper, you're going to use it to make this with. You will be able to do it. So even if you don't have a jelly plate to come home with or any of that, this is a process you will be able to use over and over again. And our time is running out because I'm using my free Zoom process. So we have about 9 minutes remaining in our call. So go for it.
All right. So the next class after the GPS knots, which is Friday morning from 9 to 11, Friday afternoon from 3:30 to 5:30, I'll be teaching Zen Gems. And Zen Gems are my answer to Maymay asked if I wanted to teach any coloring classes, and typically Zentangle is black and white, but Zen Gems are a pop of color in the Zentangle world.
That is just incredibly gorgeous.
But this is the colors added with colored pencils, and we tangle around it. So this is a coloring class, and it is a tangling class. We're going to spend about half of the class learning how to do the gems. This is one I was working on right before we started, and I've started tangling, but I haven't finished. But this is just a really fun way to add a pop of color into a Zentangle design. And then we'll also be learning how to do a setting around the gem. So about an hour of learning the color process, and then about an hour of learning some tangle strategies so that your gem has a beautiful setting to sit in. So these gems are completely flat. It's all done to create the illusion. But it's just a really cool, and it's exciting because as you're doing, you're like, oh, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. Oh, this is not working. Oh, let me add the cracks. Oh no, let me add this. Oh, and you'll have that aha moment when all of a sudden your gem starts to look like a gem. And so it's really fun. It's a hot trend in the Zentangle world. It's been going on for a few years now, but it keeps building steam because more and more people are learning to do this. and getting excited about it. So I hope you'll join me for Zen Gems on Friday afternoon. And then on Saturday,
Yep.
my last offering at Made It Con is going to be Zen buttons, and this is probably the newest trend that has come out. This came out earlier, right in 2018, and this is my sample. I have another one right here in blue, but this is a manner of building what looks like a big giant button. It looks kind of 3D, but it's all done through shading. You tangle it and then you shade it and you highlight it as well to create that illusion of depth.
That is
And
so amazing to me. I think that is the coolest thing, to get the look of that popping off the page like that and know that it is flat and non-dimensional. It's so
and
cool.
that you made it, you created that illusion. You made the
Yes.
magic happen. And it's not hard. There'll be some tangling in it. This one is a demo though. I will tell you, you might not finish a whole button. You will learn how to do it. But it's a 45-minute demo.
Demo,
So
yep.
so you'll be getting a Zentangle tile, just in the traditional form. You'll also be getting a Zendangle, which is a circular one. It's a little bit larger than a regular tile. And I will show you the basic process for creating the Zen button. And then you can kind of choose, which tangles you're going to use. I'll give you several options. And so you'll learn how to build it. It's kind of like a build your own tangle bar kind of thing, where you have all these different options, and it's up to you to choose which options you want to use to build your button. And I'll show the shading and the highlighting, and so you'll learn how to make magic happen too.
That is super cool. I love your classes. That's why I ask you to come to these events all the time, because I think what you do is so unique and so different. And it's one of those classes, it reminds me of taking an art class. Like when I was in high school and I took art class, I never learned one project. I learned a method that I could use anywhere.
That is one way. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. It happens. We live in the real world.
Well, anyway, that. Let's see here. I'm so sorry. All right. Oh, the poor dog.
We can live with it. Our phones ring all the time around here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But yes, the point is, so much of what you go to these conferences to learn, you're coming home with a particular project, which is awesome. So what I teach is a little bit different in that you are learning a process.
Mhm.
Now I do have projects that you will learn, and you will be making some things, but it's more about the process. And I want you to take the process home with you and to keep doing it, because Zentangle is really meant to be a practice that you can do every day to help boost your creativity, to help you relax, to help you feel good. Some people use it for pain management or for stress management because it is so relaxing. So it's the process that I love sharing so much. And it's just a beautiful thing that this process can lead to a really beautiful product as well.
See, that's what I
So
love about it. So if you take one of Amy's classes, you're making an investment in your own artistic style and in your artistic therapy. Because I think artist therapy, and
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
you're making an investment, and you'll be able to go home and use it over and over again. And so if you have questions about Amy's classes, we are running out of time. We're getting close. But if you have questions about Amy's classes, you can email us at info@maymaymadeit.com, and we can get you any answers. So if we can't answer it, we'll get in touch with Amy and we'll get you an answer. If you want to sign up for classes, you can do it through our website. And we also have our phone number on our website. So if you need to call us and let us walk you through it, we're certainly okay with that. You can give us a call and we will do that. So thank you, Sandra. You're a sweetheart. She said my haircut's adorable. I'm still dealing with this haircut. We're trying to get used to it. But I think you guys will love Zentangle. And when you see her products in person, as much as those 3D products popped on the screen, just wait till you see that in person. It's a whole different ball game. And Amanda can tell. It's so funny. Amanda had not seen Zentangle until we went to our last Made It Con, and she was like, "Well, actually, it was Stamp Escape, wasn't it? It was Stamp Escape where you met Amanda." And she was like, "Wow, that is really cool." It's just something you have to see in person. So anyway, that's Amy's classes. We're totally excited that she's going to be at this event. And Amy will also be at our free meet and greet. So if you'd like to come and meet her, we have that meet and greet on Saturday afternoon. It is free to the public. You can come in. There'll be giveaways, door prizes, all kinds of stuff going on then. So we hope you guys will come out. Even if you don't take a class, just come say hello.
Yeah.
So,
Love to meet you. Thank you so much, Maymay, for including me in all of this, and thank you to everybody who tuned in today or might tune in later and watch it later.
mm-hmm.
Appreciate your time, and let me know if you have any questions because I'm happy to answer anything.
We'll do that, Amy. Thanks so much. You have a great day. And
Thanks.
viewers, I will see you guys tomorrow for our live at noon, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.